Hi, Holly Stokes with the Brain Trainer here. Have you struggled with money? Have you stressed to pay your bills? Or perhaps you find yourself compulsive shopping even when you know you want to save your money or invest your money instead? So there's some different ways that our brain can affect our habits, patterns, and choices around money. And to illustrate this, I'm going to share a quick client story. So I had a client come in and we were working on healthy lifestyle and weight loss, and we went through changing a compulsion for Diet Coke. Well, she came in the next week and she was really excited. She said, "This is amazing. It just chopped my Coke craving. Can this also work for money?" I said, "Well, tell me a little more about what you mean." And she said, "Yeah, well, it seemed to really change this habit and compulsion with hypnosis and NLP. So can it also work for like spending? I just get this impulse to spend and shop for things that I know I don't need, but I just have that compulsion to buy things." And so I kind of got a little more information. "Sure, tell me a little bit about what's going on for you. When do you notice that you're shopping?" And she said, "Well, I don't know, but it's just like certain times after work, I just have to go look and see all the different things that I can buy." And so we started to dial in a little bit further. "Okay, so tell me, when you've noticed this pattern of needing to go look for things to buy, what are you kind of thinking and saying to yourself in the background while you're going out to buy things?" She's like, "Well, I just say things like, I could buy this or I could buy that." And okay, so now what's the feeling that goes along with that? She dialed in and noticed, it's a sense of freedom. I can do things, I can have things, I can buy things. Okay, so now we start recognizing what is the brain doing in the background along with that habit or compulsion, right? So she's actually shopping as a very positive effect on her thoughts, liberation, freedom, and her feelings. Feeling empowered in where she's buying, or her ability to buy things and shop for things. So then we looked, okay, where do you notice that it starts happening more? You might even look at, when's the first time that you start noticing this pattern of shopping? Or maybe even when recent, like even maybe the last couple of weeks. She said, "That's easy. It's the other day. Like after work, I just had this need to go shop and buy stuff." And she's like, "I didn't need more stuff. I really want to save for a cruise, but I just find myself compulsively shopping." So then we dialed it back even further. What was happening that day that you ended up at the end of your day with this compulsion to shop? And then she said, "I've been preparing for a presentation. And in preparing for this presentation, I get really stressed at work. And then after work, I just want to go shop and see what I can buy and feel better." Okay, so now you might even be hearing in there that there is a pattern of all compulsion or addiction is really about wanting to feel better. At some internal level, we're wanting to feel better. And sometimes these compulsions or cravings come up as food, or as spending habits, or they can even be around other things like wine or alcohol, or even other things as well. Video games can also be an addiction. So then we recognize, okay, what is her brain getting as a benefit from this compulsion to shop? Well, she's getting freedom, relief. I can. So she's feeling empowered in that sense of possibility. So if her mind has a pattern of associating freedom, possibility, fun with shopping, it's an emotional benefit, right? And so now we can start helping the brain change or shift to finding those same benefits, but in expanded ways in life. So it doesn't have to be in buying another pair of shoes or more clothing that you don't need. We can help the mind recognize, how else can I be getting this in other ways of life? So this story is a quick example of how our brain habits and patterns can affect how we flow money in our day-to-day lives. So NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, and hypnosis are well known for changing habits and patterns and cravings, and some of these are obvious. So for instance, overeating or stop smoking, right? It's an obvious habit. But there are also habits in what we think and how we feel. And it's these thinking and feeling habits that are operating in the background that are really affecting the opportunities that we see or don't see, and the habits that we have that are running automatically, or what we follow through on, or where we're dropping the ball. So when we look at NLP for understanding brain habits and patterns around money and creating wealth, there are some different ways that our mind can get tripped up with following through on the things that we want to do. And I know I want to save for this cruise, but I find myself buying, random stuff, $20 here, $40 there, and not saving for the cruise, right? So how can we dial in to understand what our mind is running in the background around money and wealth patterns that we can harness what our mind is doing, get more clear and focused, prioritized, and really start creating the results that we want in life. So if you have any results that you have in life, it's really a function of what your mind is doing in the background, what it's running automatically. So we can change these things with NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, and hypnosis. So I'm going to guide you through a quick money mental blocks quiz. This quick quiz will help you kind of dial in to recognize what your unconscious mind is doing automatically in the background. So a quick explanation about how the mind works is a good example or illustration of this is like the image of an iceberg. So there's the top part of the iceberg above the water, and it's a much smaller portion. It's only about 10%, but that's what we see, what we notice, what we realize. But then it's all the stuff below the surface of the iceberg is the much bigger portion. It's about 90% of the iceberg below the surface. So this is like the unconscious mind. Think of your unconscious mind as like the grand archives of your mind. Your unconscious mind includes referencing all of your past history. So not just what you experienced through life, but also your thoughts and feelings about what you experience through life is all stored under the surface of the water. So we don't see, but it's responsible for these automatic habits, patterns, and programs that are running automatically in the background. So a great way to think about how the unconscious mind works, it has a lot more information available than what we are consciously aware of. At the conscious level, we have to kind of eliminate information to make sense of things, but the unconscious mind, I like to think of it as a highly compact supercomputer that's able to sum up large amounts of information very quickly. So if you could sum up your motivation for saving money on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being high and 1 being not high, like not at all, right? And just think about asking your mind to sum that up. What's your motivation for saving? Scale of 1 to 10. And notice the first thing that comes to mind. That first number that pops into your head is representative, is actually what your unconscious mind is holding on to or what it's running. So when we work with the unconscious mind, think of it as your expanded mind. That highly compact supercomputer that can sum up large amounts of information, both the positives and the negatives very quickly, and give you a feeling about it. So I'm going to take you through this Money Mental Blocks quiz, and this can be found, you can download it on my website, thebraintrainerllc.com/wealth. And there on that page, you'll find this Money Mental Blocks quiz. So I'm going to guide you through this Money Mental Blocks quiz really quickly so you can take a peek into understanding what your unconscious mind is doing around money. How is it affecting your money and your ability to have it, to enjoy it, to spend it, and how it flows, how money flows through your life.